Good evening. Massive Israeli airstrikes hammer Sana'a after a Houthi hypersonic missile with a banned cluster warhead struck central Israel. Targets hit the presidential complex, missile bases, power stations and fuel depots. This is not just retaliation, it's a strategic shift. From Gaza to Yemen, the battlefield expands. A new front opens in the shadow war stretching from Tehran to Tel Aviv. Meanwhile, top US envoy Thomas Barak met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today to discuss mainly the ongoing situation in Lebanon. The meeting followed Barak's remarks on Monday during a visit to Lebanon, where he urged Israel to comply with a plan under which Hezbollah would be disarmed by the end of the year, in exchange for a halt to Israel's military operations in Lebanon. These are our topics tonight. Welcome to In Focus. Welcome to the program. A banned cluster warhead from Yemen hits central Israel. No casualties, but a red line crossed. Israel responds with a historic strike. Jets fly thousands of kilometers to bomb Houthi targets in Sana'a, presidential sites, missiles bases, power and fuel facilities. The Houthis launched a so-called hypersonic Palestine II missile, a first. Israel hits back hard, sending a clear message. Threats from afar will be met with force. This isn't just a retaliation, it's a strategic shift. From claimed defense to long-range deterrence. From Gaza to Yemen, the war expands. With Iran's shadow looming and shipping under threat, the Red Sea burns with tension. Is this the start of a wider regional war or a warning meant to stop one? From the rubble of a house in Gnaten to the skies over Sana'a, the battlefield has expanded, and the Middle East stands at the edge of a deeper, more dangerous conflict. The Jerusalem Post has reported that Israel has struck deep into Yemen, hitting Sana'a with precision airstrikes targeting the presidential complex, missile storage sites, and key power stations. This is not just retaliation, it's a strategic blow aimed at crippling Houthi military and economic capabilities. The attack comes 48 hours after the Houthis fired a hypersonic-style missile with a banned cluster warhead towards central Israel, the first of its kind, causing damage but no casualties. Tel Aviv is sending a clear message. Threats from afar will be met with long-range force. This shift marks a new phase from deterrence to violation, as Israel expands its battlefield across thousands of kilometers, reshaping the rules of engagement in a widening regional conflict. Now for more analysis of the situation in Yemen and the implication of the strikes that Israel launched. Let's go to California, where Dr. Ashraf Singer, the international relations expert, is now joining us. Thank you very much for being here with us. So this Houthi cluster missile attack on Israel, do you think it was a desperate act by the Houthis or a coordinated signal from Tehran?
It's not a good sign that the region is moving to that degree of stability. It's a sign that probably in future we can really see an escalation between Israel and Iran. So Houthi by themselves, they are very weak to put themselves in that confrontations with Israel in general. But that recent escalations, between Israel and the Houthi movement in Yemen, of course, makes a significant shift in the Middle Eastern dynamic and, showing that is, the regional power is playing, a very dangerous game, and I'm considering Houthi as a tool, as a tool between the two regional power, which is Israel and Iran. Even Iran, declared many times that Iran is not really involved with Houthi, but Houthi seems to me like representing the non-state actor is representing a degree of that future escalation between Iran and Israel.
And this strike by Israel on the Yemeni capital, is this just retaliation, or do you think it's a sign of things to come? Is this a new doctrine of this long-range war from Tel Aviv?
Yeah, I can consider it. It's a kind of ongoing. It's kind of retaliations. Israel, of course, will not really stop to launch many strike on Yemen, and this is unfortunately the Yemeni people will pay that high price in that conflict between Houthi and Israel, or between Israel and Iran. But this is not really a good sign of that degree of stability. Houthi, as a non-state actor, as Hamas, as Hezbollah, they shouldn't be in the Middle East. This is my point of view. In other words, all of that non-state actors never ever gave a significant transitions or a significant resolutions between Israel and the Arab world, or between Israel and Palestinians. So, unfortunately, they did hate up the violence in the Middle East, in spite of Israel is still responsible for what happened in Gaza, what happened in Palestine. I'm not talking about the situation after October 7, but I'm talking about after 1948, and Israel had a violence behavior against Palestinians, but making or to make that link between the Houthi and Palestinians or Gazans, I don't see it. It's clearly they are moving, the situation to be more escalated in the Middle East, particularly stopping, the shipping or stopping the international trade through the Red Sea and Suez Canal. I'm not really optimistic about their role as a non-state actor, because we need really to have a different approach to deal with Israelis, not just by escalating and hitting Israel, and Israel, of course, will retaliate back. So now Israel is pretty in aggressive mode, not towards Palestinians, but also towards the Yemen or Yemeni too.
And hitting the presidential complex, that's significant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's of course it's significant. Yeah,
What do you think they're trying to say, or trying to what signal are they trying to send by hitting that particular place?
Yeah, it's for Houthi is of course they got I would say advanced missile that can really reach Israel, and this is really significant about that technology for non-state actors, and this is why many people claim is not by themselves. They are or they had or they are getting kind of advanced technology from either regional power. I'm not really confirming Iran, but what is the story that we heard from United States or from Israel, that their intelligence confirmed that Houthi is as a tools of Iran, but at, but at the same time, Israel also retaliate back and hitting, the major cities, mean that Yemen, unfortunately, we can call it as the failed states with that controlling of Houthi. I'm not really a pro-state, non-state actor to act as a state, and this is will make the Middle East pretty more dangerous um, than the situation is really bad
Well,
now
let's
in
look
the
at
Middle East.
so this Israeli strike. They launched jets over 1,800 kilometers. What does that say about the Israel's reach and their military uh, regional strategy?
Yes. So for that strategy or that military strategy that Israel really is capable in, to reach Yemen from that far, we should understand that Israel, it's not really uh, a weak state in the Middle East. Israel, has advanced technology from United States and from other major powers, particularly in Europe. So Israel, of course, is capable, to handle that kind of long range targeted from Israel to Yemen or any place in the Middle East. My approach or my analysis, I would like to confirm that we need really to find others ways rather than to put that degree of escalation with Israel because Hamas failed, Hezbollah failed, Houthi failed. So I'm not really accepting that non-state actor can really present the major problem between Israelis and Arab or between Israelis and Palestinians. So we need really to approach Israel by different way. And my way is opening a very strong dialogue with United States and Europe, particularly England, France, Germany, and all of the major powers. They are really interested about the stability in the Middle East. But so this is the only way that we can really stop that ultra wing in Israel and try to find rational leaders in Israel can really open a very constructive dialogue towards peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
And the weapon that the Houthis used in their strike was this Palestine 2 missile. Does this prove the weapons that they're getting from Iran?
Many intelligence sources, has been confirmed clearly that that technology of the missiles that Houthi possess now from Iran, and even Iran denied that. But I can't really buy that story that Houthi by themselves are the non-state actors where and are developed this type of missile. So of course, there is a link between Houthi and may, I'm not saying Iran, but probably a major power. It's really giving that missiles to the Houthi. I would say smuggling or proxy, but it's a proxy war. I can't really stand with in their in their positions, to escalate the situation in the Middle East by hitting Israel and hitting the international trade. Their position will not really help uh, the situation in the Middle East by their policy to targeting Israel. I'm not saying Israel is an innocent for what Israel did against Palestinians or what is going now Gaza, where uh, many agencies belong to the United Nations, confirmed completely is a starvations. And but I'm not really a pro non-state actor to act in the Middle East by the way that Houthi, Hezbollah, Hamas made huge
Okay.
mistakes in opening, that aggression behavior from Israel towards, the
Oh,
Middle East.
Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed, as always, Dr. Ashraf Singer, international relations expert. Thank you very much for joining us from California. Now from Sana'a to Tel Aviv, the rules of war have changed. A front has opened, the region holds its breath, and the world watches what comes next. While the Lebanese government plans to disarm Hezbollah by the end of the year, Tom Barak discussed with Israeli leaders today U.S. requests for Israel to limit strikes on Hezbollah infrastructure and address Israel's withdrawal from 5 points where Israeli forces are present in southern Lebanon. Top U.S. envoy Thomas Barak arrived in Israel today, where he met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the ongoing situations in Syria and in Lebanon. According to the Times of Israel, Barak's visit comes after earlier talks with Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer and Defense Minister Israel Katz. The discussions follow Barak's remarks on Monday during a visit to Lebanon, where he urged Israel to comply with a plan under which Hezbollah could be disarmed by the end of the year in exchange for a halt to Israel's military operations in Lebanon. The Trump administration has asked Israel to scale back non-urgent military action in Lebanon to bolster the Lebanese government's decision to start the process of disarming Hezbollah. Despite Hezbollah's resistance to disarm, the Lebanese cabinet approved the plan's objectives earlier this month. Barak emphasized that it is now Israel's turn to cooperate. And now we go to Beirut with Muriel Fagali, who's editor-in-chief of the Lebanese news platform Lebanon On. Thank you very much for being here with us. Welcome to the program. So as the Thomas Barak is holding these talks with the Israeli Prime Minister and their team, how might these meetings, do you think, have any influence? Do you think they will have any influence on Israel's willingness to reduce military operations in Lebanon?
Actually, the ball is in Israel's court because the Lebanese government has taken a decision to disarm Hezbollah politically and diplomatically, but on the military level, Hezbollah, up till now, since the war has stopped in Beit Shurain, have complied with the ceasefire agreement, and so the ball is in Israel's court. Will Thomas Barak stop the military operations? Actually, every day we have strikes and we have military operations and escalations. And so this is up to America's influence on Israel, because it has actually a couple of things that have to do with their decision, either internally or other things that have to do with Hezbollah.
And given Hezbollah's outright rejection of disarmament, what strategies could the Lebanese government employ to disarm them and avoiding some kind of civil war or escalating internal tensions?
Yes, today actually the risks are high, yes, and the Lebanese tension is high. We have some religious groups, presidents. There is a huge dispute over the disarmament and internationally, and so this shows that there are risks, but the actual strategy and the only strategy which is the thing to block this is convincing Hezbollah to disarm, and this thing actually has lots of obstacles facing it. Which is how Hezbollah will take this, with the fear that Hezbollah has and with the Shia group. And so, meaning that Hezbollah today, they're saying, even if we decide to give away our arms, we can't, we need a longer period, not 6 months, not up till the end of this year. And so, negotiations is the only strategy that Lebanon can implement to prevent the civil war.
And do you think that Israel will commit to withdrawing from its current positions in southern Lebanon and even halt those airstrikes?
practically everyone knows what Israel is and what they want, so it is very hard for them to just comply, withdraw, or give up the areas that they have. Because today Netanyahu is talking about Israel being an obstacle in Lebanon's way to disarm Hezbollah, and so they won't comply to or withdraw unless there is a huge U.S. pressure from the U.S. side.
So that being said, how important is the US mediated dialogue that's happening between Israeli and Lebanese officials?
USA mediation is the most important, even though Israel's biggest it is the biggest support, and they are providing them with everything that they need. But they also America also has stability in Lebanon, and so this is very important. The USA's role is very important to mediate between Lebanon and Israel, either to reach a ceasefire or to stop the military operations, or to having negotiations to lead to peace.
And looking at the internal politics of Israel, how might those particular very hardline players in the Israeli government come between what the US has asked of Israel and what they can achieve?
The relationship is very complicated between USA and Israel. We hope that the USA will be able to pressure Israel to comply to the ceasefire and stop the military operations and withdraw from the 5 areas and the 5 points. But again, the relationship is very complicated. We don't know how long Israel can listen to the USA and be pressured, because sometimes they have different point of views, and so we hope that Israel will commit to the withdrawing and to the ceasefire. But there are always internal talks going on internally in Israel, so it is a complex things that can solve this.
And are there particular strategies, diplomatic strategies, that the Lebanese government could employ to try and balance the pressures that are coming at them from the United States and from Israel to try and maintain some kind of internal political cohesion?
Hezbollah are very clear on where they stand about them not giving away their arms, and they are escalating this, but it is not the only one escalating. They also have other groups, and this is and the relationship between Iran and Hezbollah is not a secret. But if the Iranian escalation keeps on going and the escalation from Hezbollah's side also, there are diplomatic efforts that Lebanon can have against USA and Iran and other countries, Arab countries too, that are very engaged in the Lebanese affairs. And so again, I'm saying negotiations are a very crucial part. Today, the Lebanese military with Hezbollah, they have negotiations. There are negotiations between the two sides. They have, and this will lead to, say having the same point of view. But still, we have risks either on the Lebanese military level, and we have seen over the years and in history the Lebanese military dividing in the event of any war. But yes, today we don't have the same things that contributed to this division, but still there is a risk, so negotiations are very crucial.
Now, Israel has reportedly proposed a demilitarized industrial buffer zone on the Lebanese border. Do you think this is something that could happen, and how might it affect the security dynamics between the two countries?
The economic projects with the Trump's administration, they are practical, and we will see how far they can be applied. Hezbollah are rejecting any projects on the borders, but rest of the Lebanese think that any progress is very important for the Lebanese people. And so yes, economy is what what takes control in the countries. And today we are talking about an Arab support from Qatar and Saudi Arabia to have this project. And so any economic project, it imposes some kind of stability and positive outcomes internally in Lebanon, but it is very, very complicated because internally in Lebanon there is a rejection process because they think that they are selling some, in a way, a part of Lebanon. And so even if Hezbollah or the Lebanese accept this proposal, it will not have the support, especially of Hezbollah.
Now, when I've spoken to Lebanese politicians, they tell me that this idea to have Hezbollah disarm is the will of the Lebanese people. But are there particular steps that the Lebanese government is taking to try and make sure that public consensus holds and to keep that kind of political legitimacy for the disarmament plan?
Yes, there are many steps the Lebanese government needs to take to reassure them. Israel staying in the 5 points in the Lebanese land. This is very risky. It is very bad for Lebanon, and practically this this is a very big risk and a very big threat to the Lebanese people. Israel not complying up till now to stop their strikes, their military operations. This is a direct threat to the Lebanese people, and they are worried about disarming Hezbollah, in addition to the risks that we hear about the eastern borders. And so Lebanon government need to take lots of steps to assure the people in the east or in the south. They need to arm the military, the Lebanese military, and we need money for this, obviously, to stop the strikes. And yes, they haven't left Lebanon since 2019. So this is a further threat, and we also can have lots of conferences to arm the Lebanese military to make sure the borders are safe and to ensure their safety. And so this gives the Lebanese people lots of guarantees and will have them more keen to have Hezbollah get disarmed, and this will also reassure Hezbollah to disarm because Lebanon is protected, so the risks are high, not only from the southern borders but also from the eastern ones, and the challenges for Lebanon are very strong, and they need a capable military, and that military needs support. They need military support. They need arms.
And do you trust the Trump administration and the U.S. envoy Tom Barrack to broker a deal that's beneficial to Lebanon?
There are no other options, basically. There is only the U.S. mediation with Israel. This is the only thing that can have a difference. And so we have to trust the U.S. envoy, not because USA is an ally of Lebanon. They are Israel's allies. They only act on Israel's benefits and in their favor, but we have some diplomatic and political cards that we can play them with, and we don't have lots of options. We can just work hand in hand with the U.S. envoy, which is what's happening. And we also need, let's not forget that there are pressures on USA and on the Lebanese politicians, and we have to give in to these pressures because we don't have lots of options with the pressure that's happening, with the economic pressure and the political pressure as well. And so this has a great risk on Lebanon. So yeah, to be realistic, we don't have lots of options.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Fagheri, who is the editor-in-chief for the Lebanese news platform Lebanon On. Thank you very much for joining us here on Q News. That was In Focus. Thanks for watching today, and stay tuned for more here on Q News.